Well, hello, YouTube, Facebook, and wherever else this video may land. My name is Brian Needleman, and the reason why I'm making this video is because I want to acknowledge that there are a lot of people over the last so many days here that have suffered and are continuing to suffer as a result of these natural disasters. The cost factors are quite high physically, emotionally, and financially. And I've been thinking a lot about this estimated $25 billion self indulgent wall that our current POTUS has such a hard on to build to prevent the Mexicans and others without proper documentation from entering the United States. Simultaneously, our president also seems to have a royal chubby from his plans to deport the aforementioned and their children brought with them into this country. Now, I could speak a lengthy stretch about how deporting millions of people from America and erecting a 30-foot wall extending 2,000 miles from the Pacific Ocean of Baja California to the Gulf of Mexico and Texas is nothing more than a colossal expression of racism and bigotry. But I'm choosing not to waste too much oxygen elaborating on those points. What's the point? Folks either wholeheartedly feel that Trump should build the wall and those aforementioned should be kicked out of America, no questions asked, or others believe that there are human being solutions to address this complex issue. I learned a long time ago that I have no power to influence how people think and behave or believe. So I'm not going to try now. Instead, my intention here is to talk about how the huge selfish waste of billions of dollars on a wall serving no purpose other than as a racist monument that many architects say is virtually impossible to build, and how these natural disasters are going to cost billions of dollars to clean up, rebuild, and help people get back some semblance of their lives from being the victims of severe heat waves, floods, hurricanes, fires, and whatnot in this country. It makes sense to me that the fiscally responsible and decent human being thing to do is for President Trump to say, fuck the $25 billion wall. Fuck the millions or more it will cost to deport the undocumented and their children, and instead put the $25 billion towards cleaning up the damage from these natural disasters, rebuilding, and helping people to get back some semblance of their lives. I've always liked any lesson in school that encompassed geography and terrain, so I decided to do a little research on the geography and its terrain for which this wall to keep out the Mexicans and others is to be built. Many architects say that it will be nearly impossible to construct this wall due to insurmountable challenges. To begin, this wall cannot be built in a give or take 2,000 mile straight line. Oh, and by the way, 645 miles is already fortified, so we're really talking about 1,250,000 miles of a Mexican keeper outer wall that needs to be constructed. Unless Trump's Woody extends to wanting to gut the 645-mile border barrier already fortified and replace it with a super wall. Architects say that this vast stretch of 2,000-mile terrain has, open quote, lots of rocks on it and is quite rocky, uneven, and arid, close quote. Even a Trump supporter, John Anfinsen, I still can't pronounce that right, who is president of the National Border Control Council said, open quote, "It's too hilly to feasibly make a wall on the entire stretch of the border," close quote. This border terrain crosses a lot of flood plains and wetlands, grasslands, deserts and rivers, sand dunes, mountains, and forest. Also, thick layers of loose sediment like dirt, sand, and soil on top. These are spots on the land that have hydrophilic clay soil, which, when it swells, it moves and could destroy the foundation. The terrain has bedrock that's reported to be too deep and they can't be reached. Oh, did I mention that New Mexico has this colossal place called Big Bend National Park that shares a 118-mile border with Mexico? This would threaten conservation and renewed efforts to create a binational protected area straddling the border. It would damage wildlife corridor used by animals to migrate back and forth across the border into Big Bend National Park. It would destroy the park's scenic beauty. It would threaten wildlife. And it's also said that building a wall to enhance security or deter illegal immigration would be ineffective. There are also the cost factors of installing electricity, transmission lines, building new roads to all construction sites, materials, and camps to house the construction workers. And here is the kicker. Dun, 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 dun. Not only will Trump's wall cost $25 billion and probably more, but it will take 15 fucking years to build it. The harsh reality, Mr. President, is that 99 point some number of the people in this country don't have your billions in the bank to rebuild their lives quickly. Folks that have suffered from the national disasters in this country, such as the Hurricane Harvey in Houston and Hurricane Irma in Florida, and the fires burning in several states, don't have 15 plus fucking years of their lives to wait to get back on their feet. That $25 billion or so can do a lot of good towards cleaning up and again rebuilding and providing resources to folks and helping those that have lost everything again get some semblance of their lives back, hopefully much sooner than later. There are a lot of disturbing extreme weather patterns and natural disasters happening in this country and all over the world. We've got heat waves going on, hurricanes and floods, earthquakes, fires, and everything else going on out there. I just want to send my heart, good thoughts of safety, care, and love to everyone out there suffering from these natural disasters. Consequently, people have died, and many are grieving those that have passed. Other folks have lost their homes, possessions, health, livelihood, and much more. I also want to extend my heart and profound appreciation to all folks out there who are opening up their hearts and wallets and helping in whatever capacity they can. Some folks like myself have given donations of differing amounts. Others are sending supplies. Some really brave folks are going directly into these disaster sites and helping to rescue people and animals, and are getting out immediate relief help to people in need. My heart is warmed by seeing folks getting into the mix and helping out in whatever capacity they can, and want to acknowledge all those for all they have done and are continuing to do. There is a post and link on my wall that I put up previously before Irma hit the Bahamas, Cuba, and Florida. The link directed to where you can donate to Hurricane Harvey relief. I also believe that Facebook was or may still be matching some percent of what has been sent toward Hurricane Harvey relief. But there are a lot of other sites out there like the Red Cross where you can allocate where you'd like your money to go. Just check on Snopes or one of those other sites to make sure that you're not giving it to some scam place. All of us here need to keep in the front of our minds that when a natural disaster hits, it doesn't segregate and or discriminate who it kills, possessions it destroys, health issues it afflicts, and lives it ruins. Everyone, regardless of their political or religious perversions, skin color, sexual orientations, or gender preference, is fair game when it comes to being harmed by a natural disaster. In short, Mr. President, your man Ronald Reagan said, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall." So I say to you, President Trump, don't build that fucking wall. I say to you, Mr. President, fuck deporting the undocumented and their children brought with them, and find a human being solution to this complex issue. I say to you, Mr. President, take that fucking $25 billion and put it towards all those who have suffered and continue to suffer from those natural disasters. Don't put that money towards deporting millions of people and erecting a wall that is virtually physically impossible to build, will take 15 plus fucking years to construct, and serves no purpose other than to stand for a colossal symbol of racism and bigotry. It's the last thing we need in this country. Mr. President, do what is honorable and put that money towards cleaning up, rebuilding, and helping those folks get some semblance of their lives back in a timely manner. Those in this country who have suffered and are continuing to suffer as a result of these natural disasters don't have the luxury of time. I challenge you, Mr. President, to do what I have deemed in the aforementioned as honorable and just. I challenge you, Mr. President, to invest in love, not hate. Anything else is superfluous. Be good to yourselves and be good to others. For those of you coming back from wherever you had to go to escape the hurricane, welcome home. And I hope that the damage is minimal, and I hope that you find some balance and stabilization from this crazy trauma. A lot of people have lost. A lot of people are grieving the loss of those that died. And I'm really sorry this is happening in the world. And I just want to say I'm thinking about everybody, and bless you all. And good night, and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.